Hello and welcome back. This is going to be video number 2, where we're going to be talking about the Darrel Brooks trial. In this video, we're going to be talking about some of the antisocial behaviors that Darrel Brooks displayed during the trial. Some of the things that we're going to be looking for are some of the repeated lying type behaviors, his irritability and the impulsivity that came along with that, his aggressiveness, his lack of remorse, the consistent irresponsibility, and him not taking accountability for his actions. There'll be lots of different things that I'll pop up on the screen as well as they happen. If you see things that I miss, please put them in the comments.
I want to go to the clip that was just shown.
Would you like it shown to the witness again and published to the jury?
I'm sure would he prefer for it to be shown again?
I just wanted to know if that's what you were asking. You can certainly question him about it, and if need be, it can be shown again.
Okay, can you show the witness the video clip again?
Sure. All right, I can tell from my monitor and the witness monitor it is up, but it's not being projected to the courtroom other than that. And you can go ahead and play it. All right, your question, sir?
In that clip, is it fair to say that you can see that there are people walking in the street and on the sidewalk? Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I could see that in the video clip.
And do you see anybody being targeted or being in a panic to get away from the vehicle?
No.
Do you see the said driver of that vehicle intentionally trying to hit anyone in that vehicle?
No.
I would ask, were you brought here today to testify on behalf of the plaintiff?
Objection asked and answered. Sustained. He already answered that he was why he's here.
Again, I would ask just one more time for the record. Do you see the plaintiff in court today?
Objection. Sustained. Do you have any other questions, Mr. Brooks?
Do you know of the plaintiff at all whatsoever?
Objection. Sustained.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Any redirect?
My name is Corey Ronco.
Objection. Vague. Did you hear the I'm going to smash your face in, or did you hear what you previously said?
Well, I heard when you were sitting there arguing with her, I heard that.
Who is the you you're referring to?
Oh, I'm sorry. Brooks said that when he was arguing with Erica.
And you claim that it says right here, but through knowing Patterson, she did know that Brooks was Erica Patterson's boyfriend. Did she ever tell you that Brooks was her boyfriend?
She said she said Brooks was her ex.
I'm a little confused by the statement and then the testimony right now. Objection, that's not a question.
I was sitting there saying that you shouldn't be hitting a woman. No, Brooks should not be hitting a woman. And Brooks was saying that Erica Patterson is not a woman.
Are you sure that's what you heard? At that moment, when you were chesting up, in your words,
Yes?
you're sure that's what you heard?
Yes.
What then happened from that point?
Then we started brawling it out. Oh, me and Brooks started brawling it out.
What do you mean by brawling it out?
No, threw a couple punches. I threw a punch. Brooks smacked me.
So did you put that in the report that you made, or the summary of the report that you gave to, I think it was Attorney, which y'all said, a detective?
And then we'll ask questions, the last questions when we're done watching.
So we're playing from 3 minutes and 9 seconds on exhibit 3.
You can.
All right, what's the time for the stopping of the video, please?
3 minutes and 47 seconds.
Again, wasn't focusing on the sky.
Agree or disagree? The video that you saw was clear. That was the question.
The video, the clarity of the video, or the skies? Please clarify
that
your
it was
question.
pretty much still daytime. You can see everything pretty clear. Everything was.
You can see, yes, it was clear. It was dusk. Lights were coming on. If the city lights, street lights were coming on.
Would it be fair to say you can recall lights coming on, but not the driver of the vehicle?
I think that's been answered, Your Honor.
Objection. Grounds.
Overruled. He may answer.
I can remember lights coming on because they are stationary. The vehicle was traveling past me at a rate of speed with a woman that I thought was my wife on the vehicle. Was not really paying attention to who was driving the vehicle. Again,
So would it be fair to say you were paying attention to the lights?
no.
Do you recall the duration of time that you saw the brake lights?
No, I do not.
But you did in fact see brake lights.
Correct.
In between that.
Correct.
And you also stated that it was the vehicle was about 30 feet away from you.
When I first initially saw the video, the vehicle was 30 feet away. It was just on the other side of the vehicle, the large suburban vehicle,
So how could you come to the determination of the speed?
because it was barreling right at us. So as it came around the vehicle, started coming towards us, it felt like 25 to 30 miles per hour, and then as it veered off, no brake lights, just veered off and continued right down Main Street at that rate of speed.
So it felt like that was the speed. Is the term you just used again, felt. It felt like it was going that speed.
So I'm using the term felt, and I am defining that as sort of a mental recollection or a gut feel. I'm not trained in assessing speed, so my gut feel, what I felt at that time, driving that street numerous times, is that it was going 25 to 30 miles per hour.
If you were driving a vehicle and were able at any time to see people directly in your path, would you veer away?
Objection, relevance for this.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Can I have the grounds for the sustain?
It's not relevant for this witness to answer that question. Calls for a hypothetical that he has not been qualified to answer. It's also on foundation grounds.
Did you get a look at the driver of the vehicle?
I recall looking into the window, but my memory doesn't put a face to that or an image to that. So no.
So it'd be fair to say that with you focusing on the kids, it would be difficult to describe the vehicle at that point.
Outside of it, obviously being a red SUV in my mind as I saw it come down, I couldn't recall any other details about the vehicle.
So it'd be fair to say the only thing you can recall about the vehicle was the color of it.
That it was a red SUV, a larger vehicle.
So the color of it.
Correct.
You stated that you initially waited before you seek medical attention. Any reason why you would wait?
I walked through the variables earlier. The hospital was on lockdown. I'm familiar with hospital operations enough to know that the acuity for my daughter didn't warrant me taking resources from other victims. My wife's a provider, an urgent care nurse practitioner. I felt she would be in a better position 15, 20 minutes later to assess and handle that from there.
You stated you did the father thing, as you put it, and downplayed the significance of the injury. Any reason why you would downplay it?
I think my initial reaction was a little confusion of what was going on, and not seeing any bones sticking out or any blood. I immediately went into this sort of "you're okay," meaning compared to everything else I'm seeing around us, you're in an okay position right now to get home. So I don't know if it was downplaying the injury per se, but it was more of just a triaging in my own mind of going, it's not that, it's okay.
It would be fair to say that the language you used was you downplayed the injury. Would that be fair to say?
Yep, that's correct.
You stated also that you dropped your other kids off before seeking medical attention. Would that be fair to say?
I said that.
Any reason why you didn't seek medical attention immediately?
I did seek medical attention immediately.
You also just stated that you dropped your other kids off.
My house is on the way to the hospital, so I dropped 2 of my children off so they wouldn't have to sit at the hospital.
So your intention at that point was to seek medical attention.
I sought medical attention.
Was that your intent?
That's what I did.
Was it your intent?
Objection, argument, Deb.
Wow.
Sustained. Asked and answered.
So Kelsey received a tear in her spleen in this location.
And for the record, I just want to show that you pointed to the left side
Correct.
of.
Back left side of Kelsey.
Okay.
She received a broken nose, significant road rash and cuts to her facial area, which one of them required some facial surgery.
Presumably the driver.
Yes, it was on the driver's side, front driver's side.
Could you tell male or female?
Yes, it was a black male, and at the time, the eyes is what drew me in. Were completely wide open, and made eye contact with the individual driving the vehicle.
So you looked eye to eye with the person who hit your daughter.
I did.
Did you see him in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you point him out by where he's seated and what he's wearing?
He's seated
I
in.
asked that Mr. Brooks take off his face mask.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
He is seated at the table, located over here. He's got a gray suit on, a blue shirt, and a tie.
Let the record reflect that witness has identified the defendant, Darrel Brooks.
Objection, I do not consent to being called that name, nor do I know any individual by that name, Your Honor.
The record will reflect that the witness has identified the
Whatever.
defendant as the driver of the SUV.
Lying ass.
May my objection be noted for the record as well, Your Honor.
It's
She,
noted.
whatever. Shut up.
Did, from your observations,
Smack his
you didn't see anyone
ass.
else in the car?
I did not.
Did the
Yeah.
defendant?
And approximately how far was the vehicle from you when you supposedly locked eyes?
I would estimate it 20 feet.
Would it be fair to say that that's about as far as I am from you now? Or was the vehicle further than where I am now from you?
I would say that it's probably a little bit closer.
And what do you mean by a little bit closer?
would say perhaps halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way between where you're seated right now and where I'm seated right now.
What would be 3/4 of the way? Can you like point about where?
Again, I estimated about 20 feet. So
would it be fair to say that halfway between you and I would not be an accurate statement of 20 feet?
Objection.
Grounds?
Overruled. He may answer the question.
that's why I said it was about 3/4 of the way.
So about what spot would it be? By this black
Duh.
I guess I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a door.
Dummy.
Excuse me, what is that?
It's an electrical box.
Would it be by this electrical box? Would it be
Idiot. It's a
this square
power
directly next to the electrical box? I mean, but specifically, what would you say would be
Dummy.
3/4 of the way?
So the electrical box would be a good estimation of the distance. However, it was a little further to my left than where the electrical box was because it was coming at us at more.
So it would be a little further this way.
Quit interrupt.
In relation to where the electrical box is, probably approximately around like this general area right here.
To my direction, probably a little bit to the left of there.
Just so the record is clear, Mr. Brooks is standing up at his table. He's pointing what would be pretty much directly in front. Note, though, you've not provided me with a different name. Number one. Number two, every inmate communication form has the name Darrel Brooks Jr. So I like to refer to the defendants by their name, frankly, out of respect for them, to not continually use defendant over and over again. Not that that would be improper, it's just a practice. So I'm going to still keep referring to you as Mr. Brooks. I know you as Mr. Brooks. Again, you've filed all sorts of inmate communication forms with that name, and you've never given me another name for which to call you. So I just want you to know that's not a disrespectful thing. It's out of respect for these proceedings. But at times I'll still refer you as the defendant.
No disrespect taken whatsoever, Your Honor. And for the record, I still would not consent to that name or agree to that name.
All right.
No disrespect taken whatsoever.
Your position is noted. All right, do you have any documents to file today, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can hand that to the bailiff.
Just very brief things I would like to put on the record.
I'll have the bailiff first.
During your testimony, you kept referring to he. Who were you referring to when you said he?
I can't understand you. Can you please state your question a little bit louder since I hear?
I apologize. I'm sorry.
You need to be closer to the microphone or project your voice, okay?
I got it.
Thank you.
During your testimony, you kept referring to a he. Like a lot of times you would say he. Who were you referring to by the he? Who did you mean by the he?
He?
Yes.
When it was showing Bill.
No, not
Bill would be the he.
Before today, have you seen any of those videos before today?
No.
You stated that you saw a red vehicle strike the grannies. Do you remember if that was, or let me back up. Do you remember what type of vehicle you saw?
It was like an SUV. It wasn't just a car. It was, the flat back. I'm bad for cars. And all I know is I've seen the red streak and my immediate family members, just my husband. And he was driving the music vehicle.
Was he injured in any way?
No.
Before you received information from the families, you weren't sure of the exact injuries to the grannies in your group?
Some of them I knew right away.
And
because of the police.
Did you know just from observation, or were you told?
I was pretty much told.
And from the videos that you saw here today, which you already stated it was your first time seeing any of those videos.
Yes.
Did you see anything in those videos today that you didn't see at the time of the incident?
Yeah, the people being hit and flying. Once the car was in front of me, that's when it left the bodies behind.
But you didn't actually see.
I couldn't, the car was in my way.
And do you recall who else was not injured from your group besides Lola?
The four of us were not injured.
Do you recall the names of who was not injured?
Kathy Z, Sharon Millard, me and Lola, and Kathy. The other Kathy. There's two Kathys.
I think at minimum I deserve for the subject matter jurisdiction to be verified and proven. I've raised that issue numerous times, pretty much every day, every time I come before your court, Your Honor. I address that, and it has yet to be proven. My filings have been disregarded, even though they've been filed into the record, even though they've been time-stamped. I haven't got the original copies of any of them, which I'm supposed to get. And as we sit here today, I'm still not even understanding the nature and cause of the charges. That hasn't even been proven. Can that be provided in any way? I'm basically sitting here confused because I don't understand why these proceedings are allowed to continue when there's so many things that have not been provided. They haven't been provided in my discovery. They haven't been provided to me by being brought to my pile where I'm housed in the jail. I'm without so much information, valid information to this matter. And I believe that it should be verified and it should be proven for the record. And if not, I move for this case to be dismissed with failure to appear by the plaintiff and failure to state a claim for which relief can be granted. Everything that I'm saying, it has merit and it has validity. As we sit here today, I'm still being charged with charges that shouldn't even exist based on the testimony that we've heard for the last few days. There's so many things left to still be proven. The prosecution team hasn't even proven that they're licensed to practice law in Wisconsin. They haven't proven, are they just Bar Association members, or do they have state-issued licenses? That has not been proven, which I've raised that issue for the record. I'm not even sure if that was even recorded in the docket sheet. There's so many things, and Your Honor, you still haven't stated for the record if you have full judicial power of the state or is this military power. That hasn't been proven. Nothing has been proven. Not subject matter jurisdiction, not licenses to practice law. Our Sixth Amendment right has been basically trampled over. No complaints have been shown. Neither of the three that I've requested, by the way that you told me to request them by in main communication. Nothing gets certified that I get copies of when I clearly asked for them to be certified and to be filed into the record. It's to the point where Your Honor, you should recuse yourself from the presiding at this point. If you're not going to abide by the oath that you swore, which was in your oath, correct? You swore to protect the Constitution of the United States. You swore to protect we the people. That is not being done here. If every valid argument that I raised is taken by the court as a sign of disrespect or a sign of trying to intentionally be disruptive or causing a problem, when I'm merely seeking understanding, because I don't understand. I'm merely seeking to understand why this information has yet to be provided and we're this far into this matter. And there's still no verified proof. Like, even as I sit now saying this, there's still no proof being provided.
Hitting the dancing grannies.
Did you see the vehicle strike anyone before that point?
No, the crowd was rather large at the parade.
Do you remember the large crowd? Do you recall it being pretty loud at that point?
Every parade I've been to has been loud in general, so.
So it'd be fair to say that one was pretty loud.
Yeah, I suppose.
Do you recall what you did when you saw people being struck?
My husband pressed my daughter into his chest so that she couldn't see. I passed her to somebody behind me, and then I got my mother-in-law up to go inside of the karate studio that we were sitting in front of, as well as the young man that was with us.
It prejudices my defense. It's valid. That's the reason why I asked for it to be certified, which you stated for the record you would not do that. You never stated any legal reason why. I have the right to ask for that legally. also have the right to call any witnesses to assist my defense, which is the main reason why I subpoenaed the plaintiff in this matter. I also have the right to challenge all relevant laws in this trial in terms of their intent, interpretation, fairness, enforcement, and whether they serve and protect the people. From my knowledge, the design of the statutes of the law was written for the common people to understand. So that would mean the final determination or interpretation of what the law says comes down to the people. You know this, Your Honor. Are you not a public servant? You also know that this docket sheet is inaccurate. Every filing up until the point that I started representing myself was filed in a name that was represented by all capital letters, which is not my name. Nor has it ever been my name, nor have I ever seen that name or individual. Every single filing or paperwork was all in capital letters. Ever since September 29th, roughly around there, now everything starts to go to lowercase letters. Why is that? What prompted the sudden change? I still have filings that have all capital letters, which I state every time I come into your courtroom, Your Honor, that is not my name.
He told Erica that he was gonna find her and he was gonna kill her.
Can we pull up Exhibit 5 for the witness, please?
Your lack of consent is noted for the record. Please find the piece of paper, open it up, and please read it.
I will not consent to that, Your Honor. Or do I agree to that, Your Honor? I do not.
Mr. Brooks, then I'm going to advise the Sheriff's Department to find the piece of paper and hand it to me so that I can read it. So that those are your two options.
What would be the basis for that, Your Honor?
Mr. Brooks, this is an issue that you raised, and I need to bring it to finality and know what the test result is.
Okay, with all due respect, it was a motion that I raised.
All right, I'm going to clear the courtroom. We're going to go off the record, and we're going to find that piece of paper, and I'm going to address it when that's done. When I walked into the courtroom before going on back on the record, he was yelling about his constitutional rights being violated.
Recall seeing facial hair.
Any hair on their head?
I don't recall at the moment, as we sit today, picturing exactly that if I saw hair or if I didn't.
Any reason why you wouldn't be able to see the driver's head?
My eyes were locked on a vehicle that was driving at a high rate of speed with the person driving the vehicle's eyes extremely wide. And then at that moment, my full attention went to my children where that vehicle was driving at a very high rate of speed.
So it would be fair to say that because you keep making reference to the eyes, so would it be fair to say then that because you were so fixated on the eyes that it would be hard to tell any other features of the driver?
I'm stating what I saw: wide eyes, black male, facial hair.
Would it being so fixated on the eyes, would that in any way make it hard for you to see any other facial description?
I'm not sure your definition of hard. I'm stating what I saw.
Do you recall if there was anything on the driver's head, a hat or anything of that nature?
I don't recall.
Was it a dark skin complexion?
It was.
fair to say that who you identify today does not have a dark complexion?
I guess it depends upon the definition of dark.
What is your definition of dark? Because in all fairness, you said dark skin. So what would be your definition of dark skin?
Dark skin as present on my interaction with black males in the past.
So every black male that you've had an interaction with was dark skinned?
Again, it depends. There's different complexions of dark, and it depends upon what complexion or what your definition of dark is.
I'm asking your definition because you said dark skin.
Yeah, I'm going to object to this line of questioning.
On
The
what
point
grounds?
has been made. This witness identified the defendant, Darrel Brooks, as the person driving the car. I think he's asked the question about dark skin. I think that this has been asked and answered.
Objection.
I'm going to sustain the objection as to the form of the question. I believe the way it's asked is argumentative. You may rephrase if you so choose.
May my objection be noted that I do not identify but that name, nor do I know anybody by that name. I don't consent to being called that name.
Noted. Next question, please.
Have you ever had any other interactions with any black males that were not considered dark-skinned by your definition?
I don't understand your question.
Have you had any previous interactions with African Americans that were not dark-skinned?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Overruled. It relates to his identification. He may answer.
As stated before, my interactions with black males before, there are different levels of complexion and color tones, darker versus lighter. And I have interacted with black males before that have been both lighter and darker skin tones, yes.
Would it be fair to say that you didn't give that clarification when asked before?
I don't understand your question.
Would it be fair to say that you did not give that clarification when asked the same question before?
I have not made any such determination, sir.
Will you be making a judicial determination?
Sir, I have not made any kind of determination that your Sixth Amendment rights have been violated. On the contrary, I believe this court has honored those rights.
Even with me not being able to face my accuser, which is the state of
Your
Wisconsin.
position is noted, sir.
Is that
Noted for the record. I've already addressed it.
Is that a judicial determination?
Sir, the record speaks for itself.
Is that a judicial determination?
All right. I believe the jurors are coming out. All rise, please.
Are you going to answer that, Your Honor? Or is that a tacit agreement?
I'm not going to answer that further. I've answered it multiple times.
Is it a tacit agreement?
It is not.
Then I should be awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser. Or a judicial determination should be made.
Record to reflect that the jurors are coming in for the morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
The record should also reflect that I received no answer to that question.
Thank you. The state will call Stephanie Bonesfield.
I saw it strike a person when it was parallel next to my husband's vehicle.
Did you see it strike anyone after that point?
No, I could not see the vehicle past that point.
Did you see the vehicle strike anyone before it got to the location that you were at?
No, I did not.
Do you recall reading or seeing a complaint in this matter in any way?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
To the best of your knowledge, have you filed any claims in this matter?
No, I have not. I was more in the middle of the block than closer to an intersection.
Do you remember any cross streets? Because you said you were in the middle of the block. Do you remember the cross streets or the next cross street that would have been ahead of you?
I would not be able to name the street by name. I am not that familiar with downtown Waukesha.
Do you recall any side streets at all during the parade route?
I do remember crossing several of them.
Do you recall if they were barricaded in any way?
Most of the streets had a large number of people standing in them. Whether there were barricades behind the people, I am not sure.
Did you observe any law enforcement standing at those cross streets?
Yes, I recall seeing law enforcement at least some of the cross streets.
And you have simply put on here, state of Wisconsin plaintiff, that's an entity. You have to name a person, sir. Well, the date we would fill in. So I'll have it shown to the state, and they can let me know their position on that.
Any legal basis why that would not be accepted, Your Honor?
You have to have a person named, sir, so that they can come and testify. You only have an entity named.
Is it not true that under the Sixth Amendment I have the right to face my accuser?
Mr. Brooks, let me hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor, I agree with the court's assessment. The subpoena does not state a person. The subpoena form specifically indicates that the person requesting the subpoena is to indicate the witness's name and address. Mr. Brooks has simply written the word state of Wisconsin plaintiff for the witness name. State of Wisconsin is an entity, it's not a person. The state of Wisconsin cannot testify